Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another session. If you are just joining us this evening, welcome. If you've been with us all morning, thank you for staying with us. We got another great session for you. We're going to get some wonderful information from Miss Jessica Prado. Did I pronounce that correct?
Yes.
All right, I didn't butcher her name finally. All right. Miss Jessica Prado is going to share some information with us, and we're going to be talking about ELL students. Am I correct?
Yes.
She's going to give you some important information to help you with your ELL babies, and not just don't focus on ELL. Hey, this might be some information that can help students across the board. So at this time, we're going to turn it over to Miss Prado. I know you're going to enjoy this. Stay tuned. She's going to drop some jewels, y'all. Here we go.
Thank you so much, Jose. My name is Jessica Prado. I am a fifth grade teacher at Klein ISD. I am a bilingual teacher, specifically in the area of ELA. I have worked with students who are newcomers, students who have been in the classroom or have been born here and they just live in a Spanish-speaking home. Worked with students who speak Vietnamese, worked with students who speak, Urdu. So these methods have been proven to work, but that the typical ELO methods that we usually use. But now, in addition to that, we're in a situation where we have hybrid students. We have students who are Zooming in. We have students who are doing remote work. Sometimes when they can log in, they will. Students who are in person. And Klein, personally, we do both at the same time simultaneously. So therefore, it's called hybrid. And so then in the few months that we've been doing this, my partner and I, my amazing partner, we have been experimenting with different ways of how to usually teach the way we have and combine it with this technology that we have. And so if you guys don't mind, Jose is going to drop the link where you guys can get a copy of this presentation. And we're going to be working with an app called ClassKick. And this ClassKick is amazing. I don't know if you guys have seen it before or heard of it, but this is another way. It's kind of like a presentation tool, but also a way for students to actually participate and leave work. And you can see them in real time. So you can see if a student's speaking, writing, reading, all simultaneously. So if you guys can click on the link, it's going to pop up a screen that says the code and your name. You can put any name you need. And then in here, we're going to go slide by slide. There's 10 slides. And here is, if you guys would be more than welcome to, while we're waiting, use the toolbox at the top, use the audio, and it's going to ask for permission. So you're going to go ahead and click start recording. And then here, you're actually going to be using the sentence stems that I used. So you're going to be putting, my name is Jessica, and my job is to teach fifth graders. My school district uses, and I would pick one from here, and my school district uses Schoology. And then stop recording. And it's going to save your recording right here at the top, and you can actually move this anywhere. And I, as a teacher, will be showing you what you'll see. And I can see the view work. So I can see that Miss Benito, Bradshaw, Brooke, Cindy, I can see that they have all logged in and created their own. Right here. I can organize this by students A to Z, grades. I can just see slide 1 if I need to, right here. And while I'm waiting, I'm just trying to see, I'm clicking in and seeing who has recorded. And for example, if Cindy, if you don't mind, I saw that you've already recorded yourself, so I'm going to go ahead and, if it's okay to share. So then here I can actually hear Cindy's voice.
My name is Cindy Garcia, and my job is to be a fifth grade bilingual self-contained teacher. My school district uses Google Classroom.
Oh, nice to meet you, Cindy. We are one of a kind. So here, as I've heard, as a teacher, I can hear Cindy. So then I'm going to go ahead and record something else for her. Just for her. Cindy will not be, only Cindy will hear this, not anybody else. So then I'm going to go ahead and leave It's so nice to meet you, Cindy. I'm so glad that you also teach 5th grade bilingual, and I can't wait to see what you do with this program in your own classroom. And so then I move this for her. I can add a little note like, check back on me. And here, Cindy that's her personal note. That's only she can hear it, not any of the kids. Now, the reason why this is like a step up Nearpod or Google Slides is because of the audio feature. The kids don't have to download anything. I have a lot of students who are using phones and iPads, and this is very friendly for that. Unfortunately, not all of them have access to laptops, so this is another way for them to make it accessible to all. Now here, if I want to make an edit, I know for Google Slides, once you distribute it, like that's it, right? Any mistake that you made, it stays there with the students and make their own copy. Here it doesn't. So if I made a mistake or typo, for example, maybe this is like, oh, you know what, this looks kind of messy, so maybe I should just shrink the text. And then I'll tell everybody, guys, go ahead and refresh your page. I just made a mistake, and it'll automatically update without having to send a whole new copy or anything. So, or I can delete pages, add a page, right? And so again, my name is Jessica Prado. If you guys just joined us, I have I went to school to University of Texas at Austin, hook 'em horns, and I got my master's in educational technology at Texas A&M University. I also tried on my free time, if I ever have any, I have a little teaching blog. And there's my link tree. If you ever want to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, or YouTube, I have a lot of tutorials, especially going more into detail about Class Kick. So if you guys can join me on slide 2. Some other resources where I've gotten this presentation information, especially when it comes to hybrid teaching, is Catlin Tucker, a super good resource if you guys need help with hybrid or blended learning or anything of that sort. She is the one to go. Her Twitter is amazing. And when it comes to ELL, bilingual resources that are technology, like digital access or activities, Esther Park and Valentina Gonzalez, amazing people. Again, they drop resources all the time and give great ideas right here. Now, when it comes to ELs, right, we want to make sure that we are, I believe now the correct term is now English learners instead of English language learners, because they already know a language, right? And we're trying to add to them, not subtract, right? So we're trying to value what language they already came with culture, what knowledge they have, and make sure to integrate English as much as they can, make sure that they become bilingual, right? Or trilingual in some cases. Now, this is from an infographic from Wendy322. If you click down here, Wendy Pillars, amazing person, has worked with other people in order to create synthesize information, just like this quick, nice to look at infographic. If you ever want to share this with your coworkers. Timelines, questions, sentence frames, chunking, right? Adding visuals, integrating. Super simple. How can we include this, especially in our LMSs, our Google Classroom, Schoology, Canvas, right? How can we integrate all the things that we already know how to do, but make it in an easy way for everybody, no matter what modality you're teaching? So if you guys can, Jose, I don't know if you can drop the link one more time so that way Miss Jennifer can go ahead and log in. So here, if we can go to slide 3. So going hybrid. In this situation, we are facing a lot of students who are doing it at the same time. You have to almost live stream your lesson and have students on Zoom, and then you have your students in person. And again, it sounds very overwhelming, and it is, right? We have to acknowledge that this is not easy. No one's done this before. What is the right or wrong way? And there isn't, right? We're experimenting. We're trying to see what the pros and cons are. Now, some pros, I had students that were, they were notorious for missing class all the time. Now, if they were to miss class, there's no excuse because now they can Zoom in or at least do it remotely, correct? We can, at least I know I can have more access. I can train the kids to be digital learners, make sure that they know how to use their LMS correctly. Now, for this, we have, how do I say, we are going to make sure that you designate days for whole group and small group, because when you have so many students and you have so many different modalities, and also making sure that you want to keep the students online accountable for their actions, you want to designate days to see them personally, right? Or even if it's a time of day, if you guys have power hour or an hour dedicated to tutoring or instruction for your students, small group instruction, making sure that you and your partner and your team are all on one cohesive timeline, right? Catlin Tucker in her blog has come up with a way to, how do I say, to plan. So if I'm going to go to our website right now, and I can click on hybrid planning, and in here, I have it to where it says here, like schedule 1. Some people have it to where they have certain days, certain students. Here we have different schedules. Again, she has a great way of like saying if this is one way to do it. If they had to, this is another type of hybrid schedule. If you have students, maybe not so many in-person students, if you can put them in the morning, and then if you could have students in online Zoom, and then switch, depending, you can partner up with other teachers. You can do anything you need to do to make it work. And that's what I thought was super powerful, is like, it doesn't matter. There is no right or wrong. You really need to go out there and experiment, especially because there is no blueprint, right? There's no lesson plan. There's nothing to see, like, what am I going to be doing with these students? Now, when it comes to Schoology, or when it comes to your LMS, what does it offer? Do you truly know what you're doing, and getting familiar with what features they have? Do they have discussion boards? How can you organize it ahead of time? Who's going to do what in your team? In my situation, I have a lovely partner who works more with writing and social studies, while I plan the reading and then translate everything into Spanish, correct? Or sometimes I don't. I had to just create the sentence frame, and that can take a long time too. So just partnering up, making sure you're distributing who's doing what, making sure that whatever that your school or district requires of you is getting completed. But in addition, that you're not burning yourself out with adding so many things, correct? So as you see here, I have my goals for the students. I have the TEAC, I have the language objective, the ELPS, sentence stems or sentence frames, and the anchor chart for the week. Here, luckily for Schoology, the platform that we are using, you can create folders, and they unlock with each day. Super simple, using Catlin Tucker's lesson planning template, which I will distribute to you in a bit. This start up with a warm up. It gives you that 10-15 minutes time to go ahead and just kind of decompress, right? Making sure that the students are catching up. They have a little bit of time. They're eating or what have you, and you have time to make sure who's on Zoom. The second one, since I am ELA, I'm going to add Witches. But this is the book that we've been reading by Roald Dahl for a read aloud. So what I've been doing is I found the YouTube video, I linked it in there, and then I added a discussion question for each day. So it's kind of like a turn and talk, especially if you do teachers college. It's like a turn and talk, but instead the students everybody's doing it at the same time. And that's another thing that makes it far easier for me to make sure that I don't have to be worried about the students having to write it here and they're talking and the students here. No, they're all commenting at the same time, and they can reply to each other's comments. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So it's just a virtual way or hybrid way of doing turn and talks. Then this is my lesson. So usually I have vocabulary, some type of district provided resource, Raz Kids, a Brain Pop, whatever, Nearpod, whatever your lesson is going to be for that day. And then the worksheet, if you are going to be using it in your Schoology. So for example, if you want the students to do a class kick, and I'm sorry, this is I'm going to log into my board right here. And if you see here, this is my Schoology course. The reminders, my assignments here, the tests that the students have coming up. And then I'm going to go, well, for this, since this is my practice course right here. If I needed to add materials, and as some people were asking, like, how can I do this class kick. Well, whatever the app is, for example, if I have the app, that's my my link that I've gotten ready already. I'm just going to copy it, paste it as an external tool right here. You drop your link, you name the assignment, well, you know, complete this worksheet. And both sets of students, hybrid and virtual, I mean, face-to-face and virtual, can do it at the same time. And it's not something that you can do it in a small group. It's super fast. And I know Canvas has the same thing, and so does Google Classroom. So it's an easy to use link that you just drop in and the students can complete, and you can monitor them, making sure they're actually on the actual thing. So that was pretty creative. But this is just a way, this is how I usually outline my day. Not too much. You're chunking it, of course, a chapter a day, giving the students time to discuss, and then like one worksheet, and then giving them time to read. It's more than enough. You're not trying to overwhelm your students or yourself, especially if you have students who are ELs. So, and some other questions I've been getting. So for school year for Canvas, right? It says here, do you change the page with the objectives daily, or how do I manage that? No, I try to put, these are my objectives for the week. Again, I try to, if there's more than 2 TEKs, I put them in there, but I'm not trying to change this every single day. So yes, it is, I figure out what TEKs I'm going to be teaching, and that's it for the week, and it stays like that. Now, your schedule. When it comes to hybrid teaching, right, some people have different schedules. How are your students grouped, right? What is a day or two? And we're coming back to that small group question, right? What can I do to really dedicate that time? And I struggle with it too, to be honest. I need to find a day where I can really dedicate the time to speak with my newcomers, work with those students who have low TELPAS scores in speaking, work with those students who have low TELPAS scores in reading, students I have students who are GT, and how can I meet all their needs, right? And the small group model is the best way to do that. If Monday you teach your whole group lesson, then Tuesday you do just small group rotations. Wednesday you teach your lesson, Thursday you do small group rotations, Friday, etc. So here, how we do it, my partner and I, because like we had GT, we have SPED, we have students who are newcomers, we have students who have been there, right? You have 4 different types of groups and only one body. So my partner and I decided to team up. She teaches math and science. I teach ELA and social studies. And we pretend like we are a self-contained classroom. And we have one single Zoom for the whole day. So while I am teaching in the morning, my partner is monitoring, just like Hosea here in the background, right? Monitoring the chats, calling parents to see where their child is, working out troubleshooting, especially because if you know, and we all know the struggle, you're teaching and the student's like, Miss, and they interrupt your lesson, right? Miss, I can't, like, Miss, I can't. And so they're freaking out. You're interrupted, and now you've lost your groove. So my partner is that moderator. She's that person that will pull them to the side, give them in the breakout room, deal with whatever they had to deal with, and then come take them back. And then sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 students at a time. Now it's not so much like it was in the beginning of the school, but that is, again, an idea of what we do, just to make it a lot easier, because that way I know that I'm not by myself. And it's also been amazing whenever she was out and unexpectedly, I took over for her because I knew exactly where she was, how she likes to teach it, what expectations she has for the kids. And in addition, I was like her sub. So again, this is one way, especially I'm an elementary teacher. I know that in middle school, they've actually partnered up with a 6th grade teacher and a 6th grade teacher, and they teach the same thing, and they've just joined together. So that way, not all of their students are, they're not all left alone with troubleshooting and also teaching, right? Here, what we've done is we made a Google slide, and we've linked our Zooms, right? Again, making it super student friendly, super colorful. What we try to do is match the colors, especially because I'm not gonna, yes, could I put lunes under it? Yes, I could. Martes, miércoles. But for my newcomers, I really want to push them to, I know my students, again, hybrid, I have both at the same time. I have virtual and I have face-to-face. So I really wanted to make it like pink, right? So the colors pink. So then my folder for the day is pink for Monday, right? And they can see that pink, and that kind of pushes them to learn their colors, to really know, okay, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here we have the reading lessons. Of course, you can add images too if you have students that are really struggling and they don't know, the basic like reading, writing, or actually maybe just dedicate that time. Tell them like this is reading, and this is what their native language. And maybe if they need to write it down so that they can, have it as a resource, more power to them. But this is just another way of like how even just a schedule and just having that for your students can be super powerful. Again, this is a Zoom link, so all of this is hyperlinked. So they have to click the Zoom and it'll pop up the Zoom for them. The Power Hour, it'll switch them to the Power Hour groups or our intervention groups. Again, one single Zoom the whole day. And here's where my partner takes over after lunch, and then I become the moderator. So at the same time, I would say I wish I could record myself saying, but when we log in, it's first thing in the morning. Everybody's logged in at the same time. I have my students on my big board, and I have my students face to face. Now for this, not everybody has a computer or a laptop. The students, because they can see my screen, my big board, they don't need to be logged in into Zoom, correct? They can just see the lesson, the PowerPoint I'm showing for today, and then my kids at home, they're seeing the PowerPoint. And I'm just saying the same information. The same information, none of them, not one of them are receiving more instruction than the other. So I'm going to be on slide 5 right now. And how can we do the small group, right? Like how can I partner up a face-to-face with a virtual or et cetera? This link again, and I'll make sure to link it. Again, Catlin Tucker has say, how do you do it with concurrent teaching? You have your teacher right here who's online, and you have your students in the classroom. Luckily in our classroom, we do have enough laptops at times so that each one has one, especially because we only have about, I think we have, if I'm not mistaken, we have, I think I'm at 13 in my face-to-face students, and the rest are online. My partner has about, I believe 13 as well, and her face-to-face, and then the rest are online as well. So then we have about 2/3 of our total students are back at campus, and 1/3 are still online, and they keep switching every day. So how we've been working, we've been playing, we've been seeing, okay, we use Zoom. That's our main hybrid teaching, like our app. But something that we've been doing is figuring out a way. If we do a Monday lesson, then Tuesday we're going to be explaining the worksheet for the day, and they have to work by themselves or with partners. And in this situation, you can see here that you have a teacher-led station here. So those groups of that group of students are going to work with you for the day. And then you have these two offline and an online station. Maybe these students are just reading, right? And these students are actually doing like a class kick, or they're doing a teacher-made worksheet or Nearpod, right? And then, or if you can, I mean, you can cycle them in one day. You can do, maybe that group on one day, whatever schedule, of course, that works for you. And then here, group 1, they know they have the teacher station. Then they go to the online, then offline, and they cycle it through. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And go to slide 6. So how do I actually implement this? I mean, the fact is that, yes, I know we have small groups, but if you have face-to-face and you have virtual and you want it, and it can be so overwhelming, right? Now, what we've done, this is my lovely partner's math groups. And we take a test called MAP. And so then based on those scores is like a pre-leveling score determining, like it goes from like 180 to like 300 or et cetera, right? So depending on what they get, they have to get within the range, right? And so those students who are in danger are going to be, receiving a lot more small group instruction than the rest who are a bit higher. And then we're also my partner's was trying to do a high level with the medium level or medium low, what have you. But the thing is, some were hybrid, some were online, some were in person. So how did we do it, right? So first we created the groups, and this is one group. So we have 9 groups total. So we have the Hulk, the Spider-Man, the Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Scarlet. So of course we picked the theme, right? We couldn't just say 1, 2, 3. Captain Marvel, Gamora, and Black Widow. Now only we know who, we know that our Black Widows are the brightest, and we know that the Hulks need a little bit more help, right? But this is between me and my partner. But our students have, I'm sure they kind of piece it out. They're 5th graders, but they don't really truly know what it is that we have. They just see the Spider-Man. They're like, whoa, I'm Spider-Man, So this is great for the groups. So whenever we want to do like Jeopardy or whatever, this is super easy because we know that these students are already mixed match or group by level or are partnered with a high student, and that way they can help them kind of rise a bit. And then if you guys notice, there's a line here. So if we're working in partners for that day, these are the partners, and this is the number they are assigned on Zoom. So Danielle and Emiliano, they are number 1. So if today we were saying, all right, guys, today's a group day. So they changed their name on Zoom to Hulk, Emiliano, right? In this case, I'm Spider-Man. So I'm in the Spider-Man group. If we're doing by groups, we're going to do by the character. If we're doing partners, we do by the number. And we taught our kids how to rename themselves. So that way, when we were assigning, it's super fast. It goes super fast. So you can put, okay, breakout room 16. Okay, these 2 are 16, and you move them. Breakout room 11, put them 11. And so then that really sped up the process, because that was super tedious at first when we first started learning about this and how to do it. It was annoying. But we found out that if the students rename themselves to their group or their number, super easy assigning. And then how does it look like, right? So here, you guys can't see, but these are a group right here of students, and we put them in the hallway just to give them that space. So if you see that, we do have a lot of students, right, and face-to-face. But what you don't see is that they are partnered with their online buddy. Some other people have seen it. It's called Zooming with a roomie. So this is my roomie, because they're in the room with me, and they're partnered with the Zoomie. See? But super easy way. Again, renaming their Zoom really helped. So let me go ahead and do slide 7 if you guys can join me. And how can we streamline kids' assignments? In this situation, we have 3 different types of apps that I would recommend, especially for EL students. And also emphasizing, before we go into this, don't overwhelm with tech tools. If you have something that you love, you go for it. Keep it consistent, making sure that it's the same assessment. Maybe you just use one new tech tool every 9 weeks, every quarter. And once you feel like you're bored of it and your students, then you can move on. But don't think that, oh, look, I have to use Classcake. Don't think that if it's, something new that you're learning, that you have to implement it right now. Learn it, play with it, have fun with it. And then when you feel you're ready, then integrate it in your class. So if you see what I had here, if I can go back to slide, I believe it was slide 3. If you see here, I only had about 4 things for that day, and that's it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Again, you're not trying to overwhelm yourself or the students, but let's get back to it. So Classcake, how can I use Classcakes for using it for my, excuse me. How can I use Classcake, especially for instruction, right? So if you click here, I linked my YouTube tutorial of Classcake just because I was so scared that we weren't going to have enough time. You guys can definitely go ahead and click on that, save it for later. And I go into a deep tutorial. It's an 8-minute tutorial about how to use it. I'm going to be, especially for students who are younger. Classcake is super friendly. If you guys see right here, there are no images. There's no written words, nothing. It's just like the kids, if you can teach them the icons, like if you were to like just draw it, guys, make sure to click on the, audio, then they can click the button right here at the top. You as a teacher, super easy for you. You can upload any existing PDF, and it'll convert it into this. So this is a Kindle workbook that I had. I'm going to open it. And it automatically converts all those PDF pages into JPEGs or pictures. And you'll see here, it's going to import 118 pictures. And I say, yes, import them all. And so here I'm waiting, correct? After that, after it's done converting, then you're given the chance to delete pages that you don't want, which I thought was like, oh, you know, because how many teachers have struggled with using Cami and using these other programs that just don't work, right? So here I can go ahead and delete which ones I don't want. And then I can push finish, and it'll go ahead and convert it. Now for this one, I don't want, well, that's just one way, correct? After I'm done with my ClassKick, again, if you have Schoology, this is Schoology. I'm using the programs. I also know that some teachers don't have, you know, other teachers have LMSs depending on your district. But typically, at least for ClassKick, you would use Add File, click on that external tool, and it'll make it to where your students will never have to leave Schoology, right? You want to embed it all right there. So if here's my week 7, this is what we did this week. And again, here's my language objective. I have my color coding, right? Then I also have my Monday and all the different things that we did. Again, it was only like 4 things. Here's my ClassKick for the day. For the students, it looks like this. And do you see how it actually doesn't take them out of Schoology? It actually embeds it right there, so they don't have to open new tabs and miss, I don't know what happened. No, if you do it that way, you don't have to worry about the kids, you know, getting out or anything. Same with Nearpod or Edpuzzle. And again, if you really want to learn how to do that on my YouTube channel, Bilingual Bool, I have all the tutorials there of how, especially with ClassKick. Here I'm going to go ahead and reload it and click on this one where we were. You also have the feature, especially for your little ones, that they can move and they can count. So if you were to go ahead and do, you know, they have to count out the coins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they have fill in the blank as well. And they would have to, they would have to go ahead, and the correct answer is 63. So if the students put in 55, the box will turn red, right? And then whatever you put is going to be very, how do I say, it's going to recognize it as wrong. Now, again, you don't have to fill that in. If you don't want students to know if they got it right or wrong, then you don't. But this is another way for like ELs, especially if they're speaking or pronouncing stuff, that you can incorporate, right? So that is ClassKick. Again, go to my YouTube channel if you want to know more. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, I know I can't get into as much detail as I wanted to, but I definitely love it. And at the end of today's presentation, ClassKick was super generous and let me raffle off 2 accounts. So one for this session, one for my next. 2 free pro accounts, because with the free version, you are allowed to keep up to 20 active assignments, meaning that I can keep 20 of like worksheets at a time. If you want to add more, you would have to delete. But with the pro version, you do not. You can actually keep all the assignments, never have to worry about it. Another thing that the free versus the pro, the free version, it's very hard for students to log back in. It doesn't save their work, so it's kind of like a one and done deal. With the pro version, they can sign in with their Google email or the Google Classroom email, and and that way they are able to save their work, come back, you know, and do whatever you need to do. That's like their portfolio. So again, that is what we have been doing for the students. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to slide 7. The next one, another worksheet or digitized worksheet that we are using is called TeacherMade, and my partner found this one out, and along with the Science Lab teacher.
Hi, I'm Richard Byrne.
And this is a quick video that you can use to kind of walk you through it. TeacherMade is another idea. There's a lot of pre-made stuff here. Again, if you have any type of worksheet or activity that you need the students to go ahead and complete, you can walk you through. So like United States. And if you want to add, because the thing is, a lot of these worksheets aren't really SPED or ELL friendly. So this is where you can, as a teacher, go ahead and record your voice if they have the oral accommodation. You can add pictures, add sentence frames, right? Something that we would usually do, especially if we were in the room. But since now we're, going digital, you're going to have to do this beforehand and making sure that the students have the accommodations that they need in order to succeed, right? Sometimes what I do is I add the anchor chart on the lesson for the day. And that way the students can refer back to the anchor chart, right? Because usually you would have the anchor chart right behind you, but since some students can't have that, you put the anchor chart right here. And ClassCake lets you do that, and also TeacherMade. So,
Sure. And there it is. So when they see this, they'll be able to write in that space. Now let's do a multiple choice. So let's go here to Insert, and we'll do multiple choice. I'm going to have 4 choices, and I'm now just going to line those up right over my existing choices that were previously on my worksheet. And I'm going to select transparent there if I want to not have white space around it. So there it is. And so students will click on the choice that they want to make. Now down here with this picture that I have in my PDF, I'm going to now...
Again, the link is there for y'all to see at any time you need. But I thought that was another great way, because I know a lot of requests and a lot of things I've seen on YouTube and our Facebook has been, how do I convert this to that? I have it. I love it. I have a book that I want them to see. I have a page that I want them to see. But how can the students in both modalities see it, right? So maybe if you don't have, I'm aware that not everybody has the technology, but even if the students were to get the printed worksheet out, and then your hybrid students were able to get the digital, that's, again, making it simultaneous. Everybody's getting the same type of instruction, and you're not going crazy, right? If you do have the tools, then you would definitely just have everybody do the assignment at the same time, correct? Now, for Nearpod, this is another great one. I'm specifically going to go into the detail of Nearpod EL. If this is something that if I believe would have to be paid for, and luckily in Klein we do have it. And if you don't have it, then this is something that you can definitely ask and see. Like BrainPop EL has one now. Nearpod EL. These are resources that you need for your students. It's fast, it's easy. They already have the scaffolds that you need, and it's created by experts, aligned to your standards. So I would go here to my Nearpod, and then there's a section now where it says English learners. So I click here, and depending on what grade you are, you can, filter it down. But for example, if I am a K to 5, I'm going to go show this in my library, and I can go ahead and check to see that, for example, this is partnered with ReadWorks. So I would have to go and look for the article on ReadWorks. I think they already did it for you though. And you can choose if you want this live participation or student pace. And then the great thing about this one is that they use Microsoft Immersive Reader. So for those students that speak another language, they need it to be read aloud or translated. You would have to go or train the students how to do it, right? I believe Vocabulary and Nearpod have it, but if I can go ahead and don't know if they have it, but usually it's like a little book. And the book, as soon as the students press it, they are able to translate and choose it or have it read aloud to them. So that's just another tool that Nearpod does have. And so then right here, here's Google Translate. It's training them how to use it. And then they would have to write it down here. Here. Now, the only negative thing about Nearpod is that when it comes to audio recordings and all that, it doesn't, especially if you want students to be trained how to, speak properly, especially for TELPAS in Texas. We have that English proficiency exam. Nearpod does not have that, but I will say that ClassCake does. And as you saw in the beginning, I can always go back and have give students a prompt and that could be a warm-up, right? Give students a prompt, like, students, please record this. Here's the sentence stem, right? And I can go ahead and I'm gonna play Ann Smith's just really quick.
And then here, you're actually going to be using the sentence stems that I.
Sorry, I'm not sure. So that's my recording, my bad. But if I can go back and pick on somebody who recorded their own, there we go. Bradshaw.
My name is Mike. My job is to teach 9th grade English. My school uses Schoology.
Perfect. So then for Mike, I, again, can give that feedback to him. I can give him a little sticker. But to me, this Class Kick and Telepass is the one that's been like a godsend, because especially because I can see what they're doing. I can see that some students have gone ahead of time, right? And of course, if you want to definitely find out more, look at my YouTube channel. I go way into more detail about how to use it for Telepass and whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and go back, and we're going to go ahead and finish. Give y'all a little time to go ahead and get back to track. There we go. So again, some tech tools, don't get overwhelmed. Find the one that works for you and make sure that you are consistent with it. Don't just do a different thing every day, right? Try it out for a quarter, really try to learn it. Go become like, for example, I became a Class Kick coach. Nearpod, you can get certified in Nearpod. Learn it, right? Go out there, see what's out there for you. Slide 8, using data to make sure that you are incorporating activities. This is something that my amazing person who's our EL coordinator at our school, she's like, she printed out the students, and it blew my mind to know that the students that I had who are super high readers were getting intermediate or level 2 on Telepass, which I was like, what? But I needed to see that data, especially now that I know them. But if you guys can, if there's a fill in the blank right here, what area do these students need the most practice in? And if you see here, I want you to go ahead and write it down. And you'll see that I have it's a fill in the blank, right? And I said, and I put writing with a capital, just to make sure that, because if you see here, students need the most practice in writing for this classroom. So then what does that mean for me as a teacher? I need to make sure I'm including a lot of writing activities on Schoology and making sure that the students are getting ample time to write, because obviously this is a big warning sign, right? For listening and speaking, it looks like these kids are chit chats. There's a couple that are beginning, but that might be because they're newcomers. Or if they're not newcomers, why is it that they're getting beginning? Do they not talk into the microphone? And if that's the case, you need to give them more practices for speaking, see? So that just kind of gives you a guide of where to go, what's best for your students, or how should I group them. And slide 9. Again, if you ever want to do vocabulary is very important. Quizlet is a great resource for that. It's already pre-made vocabulary using pictures. And so then this is a game, and they have games as well. So for example, Tiger King, you can learn it, write it, spell it, test it, and it's free. And then you can play Match and Gravity. Now, if you pay for the pro version, they give you more access to more things that are created, but not a big deal. Flipgrid, again, we all know that they have discussion boards. Schoology also has discussion boards, so I would just go ahead and use it with what is already in your LMS. And of course, Graphic Organizer. Here's a sweet little essay that one of my students wrote. And again, we're practicing beginning, middle, end. I'm giving them a requirement. They at least have to have 3 sentences in there, because I had students that weren't. And then go from there, right? Then you tweak it, edit it, talk it out with them, seeing what their tendencies are. And I just want to thank you so much. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow. If you have any feedback or questions, please leave it down here.
So, Ms. Prado, we did have a couple of questions for you.
Yes.
I remove this mask. That might help things out a bit. So, first thing is, if you don't mind just saying your YouTube channel for everyone one more time. We got that question a couple of times.
Yes, Bilingual Bool. Which I will, Bilingual Bool, the same as you see it here. I try to make it all streamlined.
Bilingual Bool, B-U-H-O. She has it right there. And someone also asked, how does Class Kick work with EC through K classes? I guess they want to just get an idea of your feedback on that. How does it work with those babies?
Yeah, for sure. So in this situation, because the toolbar is right here, right, we do need to go through and teach them the toolbar, at least by pictures, because I know they can't, read. Now, if you have where you want them to move images depending on where they're at, there's a little tool that says add manipulative. And if you see here, the students, you can prepare the moving, especially with that, a lot of images, right? So you can incorporate a lot of individual images, teach them how to record. Just teaching them that toolbar is the most important for EP, just because it's a lot of images there. So that's the great part about them, but training them and then also incorporating the manipulative tool.
Awesome, awesome. Let's get another one in there. Um, a few people want to know what did you use to create your banners?
Oh yeah, actually that's again on my YouTube. So I use Canva. And let me see if I can pull it up. Bilingual Bool, and I put it right here. Excuse me. I believe it was Canva how to create adding Canva animated banners and course pictures.
Hi there. So today we're
And that's me.
Okay, and so you mentioned that you had something to give away to the good people out here.
Yes, I do. I have a free Class Cake account as a giveaway. Depending on now, Hosea, this is up to you. How do you want to?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into our private chat, and I'm going to let's say I'm going to give you. Let's see. Should we do number?
Let's do number. Yeah.
Let's do a number. So I'm going to give you a number.
Okay.
And let's see who types in that number first in the chat.
Okay.
So this is how we're going to do it. No rhyme or reason. I just like numbers. Okay. So we're going to put a number in the chat. So we're going to give everybody a chance to get their fingers ready on the number key.
Whoa, ready. Okay.
Get your fingers ready on the number key. Okay. And then I'm going to say go. And it's going to be a number between 1 and 9. It will be a number between what? Why are y'all typing 20? Look at this. Look at this madness. Look at this madness. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna switch. We're gonna do what group is Miss Prado a part of in her presentation? The first one to type out the group that she was a part of. What group was Ms. Prado a part of doing her presentation with her students? Was that not on your slide?
It was on my slide. Now, oh yes, my Zoom name. Which one?
What is her Zoom name on that slide? What group was she with? Oh yeah.
There we go. When I change my Zoom name,
we got somebody. Brooke Griff.
Yes, thank you. I was Spider-Man.
Brooke Griffiths, Spider-Man. So what you need to do is go ahead and let's get that email to Ms. Prado. If you could just drop that in the chat for us, that way she can contact you. Wow, you were fast.
Ms. Showers, shout out to my former principal. Thank you so much. Runner up.
Go ahead and drop that in there. I saw her name. Where did she go?
I saw her too. Oh, there we go.
Brooke Griffiths. Brooke Griffiths, the first one, or is it Griffiths? Yes, Brooke Griffiths. That was there. We need that email from you. Go ahead and drop your email in the chat, your school email in the chat, so Ms. Prado can grab that and send you your. Oh, there she goes. She got it.
Got it. Thank you so much. And I will screenshot it and I will get it to you. I'm thinking later tonight, if not tomorrow.
So she'll get it to you later tonight, or by tomorrow. So that is awesome. And I told y'all she was gonna drop some jewels. Jewels, and she has. I want to thank Miss Vic in the background. Miss Vic was the one who was grabbing y'all's chat questions when they were moving at a rapid pace. And so thank you, Miss Vic, for that. Thank Ms. Prado. This is outstanding information that she's given us. They love what you did. You've kudos all up in the chat.
Thank you,
And
guys.
so we are glad that this worked out for you guys. We're going to go give you time to go get a sip of water, grab a bite to eat when you come back to your desk, because we know we got a couple of more sessions going. So at this time, we're going to end it. At this time, Ms. Prado, do you have any more words for the people out there?
No, muchísimas gracias. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Awesome, guys. We'll see you in the next session. If we don't see you, thank you for coming. Enjoy your Saturday. Good golf, good tennis, whatever makes you happy. And remember, wash those hands and social distance. And by the way, if you want that secret word, look at the screen. The super secret password to receive your certification is the word encourage. Encourage. Right there on the screen, and it is case sensitive. The word to receive your certificate is encourage. See y'all in the next one. Enjoy your day. Bye bye.